shit! I think I've cursed myself! Oh, I don't think we'll be going too far with that front stabiliser now being disconnected from the control arms. So, anyway, look at these nice old 60s cars here. Is that a HR? Ah, there's a Mark 1 or Mark 2 Cordy. Needle. Oh, look at that old Falcon.
Hey peeps, and welcome back to the channel. This is part 4 of the 3 Degree of Freedom motion simulator platform software setups. Okay, now we're going back a little bit, guys. The doctor, as he often does things, asks about, we really should have talked about getting our Arduino all set up so then we can actually run SMC3 Utilities and our sim tool. So that's what we're doing, guys. We're rewinding. We're going back to the very start and what we would need to do to get those things working. So what we need to do, guys, is we need to go to xsimulator.net, right? This is linked in the description, guys. So click on this, you'll come to this page. As shown previously in previous videos, this is the page all about this build and how we need to set up this build. What we're interested in, though, on this page is scrolling down to the software setup. Okay, and we want to go to this link here, the Getting Started Guide for the Arduino. We're going to click on that. It's going to take us to the Arduino site. All right, we need to get the latest Arduino IDE code to get onto our Arduino. Go here to the left where it says download Arduino software. Click on that. We'll be brought to this page. Okay, we want to go to the download page. You can read through this if you want. It shows you what you need to do. Probably not a bad idea, but we need to get it first. So we'll come to the download page. Okay, now depending on what you're running, the doctor's running Windows 10. Okay, so he would click on this and that's going to give us the latest IDE version 2.1.0. all right, now I've already downloaded this, as you can see here. That's what you, depending on, as I say, what you're running, then you will download what you need. Okay guys, now you've downloaded that Arduino IDE 2.1.0 or whatever version it is that you happen to find when you go onto the Arduino website. Once you've downloaded that, unpacked it, followed all the instructions and installed the USB drivers, guys, you can now come back to the xsimulator.net page here, linked in the description. You will scroll down to the first lot of files. We need to get our SMC3 INO file to upload into the Arduino Uno R3. This first lot of files, guys, it's just under this diagram here for the potentiometer application. Okay, it's this one here that we want to grab. This is the latest version, SMC3 version 0.7 zip. Download that, guys, unpack it on your desktop. You will then see it as an Arduino IDE file. It will say SMC and it'll look like the Arduino IDE file, little green box. You need to double click on that and open it, guys. There's some changes we need to make with that regarding some code so that it correctly runs with our IBT2H bridges. Okay peeps, before we make those changes to the SMC3 INO file, we are going to need to set up the Arduino and get it working with our computer so then we can actually upload that SMC3 INO file into our Arduino. Now to do that, guys, you need to have unpacked that original Arduino IDE folder. You need to run that folder. There'll be a little green box that says Arduino IDE. You need to run that. When you run that, it will give you all sorts of options. You'll have to keep agreeing to permissions from Windows, allow access, because eventually you're wanting to try and install the drivers so then your computer will see your Arduino. Okay, so just allow access as Windows goes through it. If you have to, give them your passport number, give them your tax file number, give them your bank account details if you need to. Do whatever it takes to get those USB drivers installed. Otherwise, your motion sim will never be going anywhere. Jokes aside, guys, once you have unpacked that Arduino IDE 2.1.0 folder and you've run it, you've run through all of the wizards, it's all been set up, and you've got your USB driver set up, you can then plug in your Arduino. I've got a little Arduino clone here, Arduino Uno R3 clone. I've unpacked that Arduino IDE folder and I've plugged it in, and because it's all worked as it should, here in Device Manager, you'll need to go to Device Manager. So if you're on Windows 10, go down to your search bar, just type in Device Manager, click on Device Manager. In Device Manager, find your ports, COM, LPT location here, expand that, guys, and then you will see your Arduino, whatever it is. Now, mine is seen here as USB serial CH340. That's because these clones use the EEPROM chip is a CH340. Okay, and my computer, Device Manager, sees that Arduino clone in COM port 7. Now, yours could be different. Yours could be COM port 4, could be COM port 2. Who knows what it is? It depends on your computer. For mine, it's seeing that it is in COM port 7. This is something that we need to make note of, all right? This is important because we need to make sure that that COM port location, we need to make sure that what our computer, what Device Manager is seeing our Arduino Uno as, we need to make sure that's the same in the SMC3 Utilities INI file. So we need to remember this. So note down whatever the COM location is that your Device Manager sees your Arduino in. Make a note of that, and now let's move on. Okay guys, we're back with our SMC3 INO file. You've double clicked on that, guys, you've opened it. It's going to look like the Arduino IDE format. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. This is the window it's going to open up in. This is all the code that is going to run our motion sim via our IBT2 motors. Okay, this is going to command them to go forward, to go in reverse, to go slow, to go fast. Whoever wrote this, massive kudos to this person, a big thumbs up, and thank you very much for your time and effort. So then guys like myself and others watching this video and following this tutorial can eventually have a fat time once we get it all together. Okay, so we've opened this back up again, guys. We need to make a slight change to the code because, as you can see, when we first opened this code up, this line here, define mode 1, because we're using 3 motors and we're using the IBT2 H bridges, we need to change this to 2, to mode 2. So we'll click on this line and we'll simply backspace and then press number 2, so this becomes mode 2. Okay, that has to be changed, guys. Now what we're going to do is we're going to then upload this into our Arduino, because we've already got our Arduino now set up and communicating with our computer. So we can now upload this code with this change into our Arduino. Now there's a couple of things you'll need to do first before we go sketch and upload. Right, that's what we'll do. Now I don't think you can see this drop down with this bloody Windows game bar, but up here where we see file, edit and sketch, if you click on sketch here, a box will drop down. You'll see the upload command. Okay, before you do that though, we need to look here, because when you first come in here, this will have no board. This drop down menu allows you to go through and find your board. Now mine's an Arduino Uno, so I came through previously, I found the Arduino Uno, I clicked on it, I said okay. It confirms here when you do this drop down that the Arduino Uno is in COM 7. Okay, we know that's all right, and we're going to talk about that shortly anyway with the SMC3 INI file and any changes we may need to make there. So we need to make sure here that we've got our Arduino Uno board selected. You can double check which COM port that it is located in. That should correspond with what you saw Device Manager telling you that your Arduino, which USB port your Arduino was in. Once that is set up and selected, you can then go to sketch, click on that. Sorry guys, you can't see what's here, but you will then just click on upload. You'll see down here that the sketch is compiling. Okay, I had some blinking there on my Arduino Uno board. The lights blinked and we have a successful upload of this code, particularly with mode 2. So we've changed this to mode 2, how it needed to be changed, and we've now uploaded it to our Arduino. We are now ready to rock and roll. If it didn't work, we would have had some red dialogue here. It would have been in red and we would have had something fail. Nothing has failed. The code is successfully uploaded with the mode change to mode 2 to our Arduino Uno R3. We're ready to rock and roll with SMC3 Utilities now. We can now communicate with our motors on our motion sim rig and we can start to do some testing. But there's still one more thing that we need to change. We need to double check the SMC3 Utilities ini file. Let's talk about that now. Peeps, we are going to come back to the xsimulator.net page. We are going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to the second set of files on this page. We've already gone past these guys where we've downloaded the 0.7 zip file, which is our SMC3 INO file, which goes into our Arduino. We're going past that file, guys. We're going to get the utilities application now, which is this set of files on the bottom of the page before all the comments begin, a little bit lower, and you're going to download version 1.01. Okay, get that downloaded, get it unpacked onto your desktop, and let's talk about what we need to do next. Okay, legends, once you have unpacked that 1.01 SMC3 Utilities folder onto your desktop, you will have two files there. You'll have the actual SMC3 Utilities application and you will have an ini file, should the doctor say. Open that ini file. Now you have here, guys, some line here, com_port equals 7. Now this is what it opens up as. For the doctor, that's a great thing because it happens to be that my computer and device manager sees my Arduino Uno R3 in the COM port 7 location. I don't need to change a thing. Your computer may be different. Your computer may see the COM port location as COM port location 4, all right, or COM port location 1. Whatever your computer or whatever device manager sees your Arduino in, whatever COM port that your Arduino is seen in device manager, you need to change that here in the SMC3 Utilities ini file. If it is seen in COM port 4 in device manager, you need to change this to COM port 4, for example. Okay, as I say, mine is in COM port 7, so I need to make sure this says 7. So whatever it is that device manager sees your Arduino in the COM port, you make that change here, you file, you save, you close, you're done. That means that now SMC3 Utilities will communicate with your Arduino Uno R3 via the right COM port. Well, congratulations guys, if all has gone to plan and you've been able to download, unpack and install your Arduino IDE, then you've been able to download, unpack and install and upload your SMC3 INO file into your Arduino. You've successfully got your Arduino connected to your computers and the drivers installed. Your Arduino is up and running. Then you will be able to simply open your SMC3 Utilities application, guys, after you've made sure that your SMC3 Utilities ini file matches your port location on device manager. You should be able to open SMC3 Utilities application and this is what you will see. You will see the application, guys, and you can begin to play with this now with power levels, testing your rig, and we will go into that, guys, in the next few videos. But for now, we're going to leave it at that, guys. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of footage of me driving around like a maniac around the beautiful vintage village of Longford, a road course used back in the late 50s, early 60s in Tasmania, Australia, showcasing my motion sim the way that it's running with my power settings at present. You stay healthy, you stay safe, and take it easy out there.
Well, welcome to the village of Longford, guys, in sunny Tasmania, where I'm racing a Lotus Type 25. My opponents are Lotus Type 25s. The AI running at 96% and their aggression at around 21%. I will try not to crash out though. The AI really struggle with this track. It's pretty full on. There's a couple of bridges where there's always a lot of crashes. Hopefully I won't get taken out by the AI or by my own appalling driving. Enjoy the way this car shows the difference between how much the motion sim moves around in comparison to my last video with the Touring Car Legend 2000 GT Toyota. I've changed no settings whatsoever, but you will see the immense amount of difference, particularly in the traction loss with this car. These really are glorified go-karts. So this gives you a bit of an idea, guys, of what I was talking about in the last video about how things can change substantially just with a track change and a car change. The road mesh on this track is really aggressive, and of course these cars are an absolute handful to drive, particularly with the H pattern shifter which I'm using so that it's authentic, and the constant heel and toe. Enjoy 3 laps of beautiful Tasmania, aka Van Diemen's Land. You're so uncoordinated with the gear stick. That's not what my wife told me, nurse. That's what I'm talking about. They always crash on the bridges. I really am doing an appalling job of changing gears. You're right, nurse. You're right. Wow, this part of the road is intense. Oh. Easy, big fella! I'm going to slow down for the yellow. Slow down as much as that. I'll take it. This bit's pretty please gearbox don't blow up. The doctor is so sorry about his malpractice. the scenic drive in the country. I'm going to have to stop talking to the nurse and concentrate on driving. Because at the moment, because of what we've seen, the nurse would do as good a job as me. Yes, yellow flags. Oh! Did that eye do that deliberately? But really got to be careful of my eye, guys. It's evil. We all saw that in Terminator. That gearbox going to survive one more lap. Wow, that was slippery. Whoa! This guy's trying to get the second position. He thinks his car's faster than mine because it's red. Come on, Black, hold this together. You're almost there, old son. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. There's already one there. Yes, I think we're going to do it. Why, Doctor? Are you classes old? Oh, he's still pressuring me. As you can see, we're walking in the rolling on this bit of the road. It's a really uneven road surface.
Oh shit! I think I've cursed myself. I have. Oh!
Oh shit! I think I've cursed myself! Oh! Oh, I don't think we'll be going too far with that front stabiliser now being disconnected from the control arms. So anyway, look at these nice old 60s cars here. Is it a HR? Ah, there's a Mark 1 or Mark 2 Cordy, Beetle. Oh, look at that old Falcon.